Well, my friends, it is the end of an era. Sam Bankman-Fried has been convicted and is facing up to 110 years in federal prison for his many financial frauds. How did it all come to happen? Let's get started with this. All right, everyone, let's dive even deeper into the intricate tapestry of SBF's journey. And what a wild ride it has been. From a simple trader to a titan of a brand new industry in crypto, and ultimately to an accused and now convicted criminal. Sam Bankman-Fried, affectionately known to both you and me as SBF, didn't just stumble into the crypto world, he helped to invent it. He leaped in with both feet after leaving a lucrative job from Jane Street Capital. With an apparent vision for untapped potential of crypto funds and also a little bit of effective altruism, which seemed to involve the eugenics, but never mind, he founded Alameda Research in 2017. Alameda Research was labeled as a hedge fund, but it was in reality far more than that. It was a beacon for a crypto trading elite, quickly making waves and setting SBF onto the path of stardom and lucrative earnings. But Alameda Research would wind up being a mere teaser for what would ultimately bring Sam Bankman-Fried to our loving hearts. It was May of 2019 that Sam Bankman-Fried, along with Gary Wang, an ex-Google engineer, birthed FTX, a cryptocurrency exchange, into the market. FTX was labeled as a hub for trading all kinds of digital assets, of course, principally cryptocurrency, including innovative derivative options. FTX then launched like a rocket ship into the financial marketplace, and SBF was at the helm, with a trajectory labeled straight to the moon, as the financial bros like to say. By October of 2021, the stakes were even higher, and the numbers became truly astronomical. FTX had secured $400 million in funding, captivating its overall valuation to an otherworldly $25 billion. SBF's net worth was also a headline unto itself, with Forbes charting his wealth all the way, reaching a peak at $26 billion of personal earnings and worth. The exchange that SBF founded permeated popular culture. SBF secured FTX's naming rights for the Miami Heat Arena, a major coup for any business and a particularly notable one in the world of sports marketing. Celebrities like Tom Brady and Stephen Curry were on the FTX bandwagon, starring in commercials. And who could forget the iconic Super Bowl commercial featuring Larry David, which brought FTX into the living rooms of millions. However, this flash-in-the-pan success was ultimately nothing more than an illusion. In June and July of 2022, amidst a broader market collapse, SBF positioned himself as a knight, dishing out $200 million to Voyager Digital and $250 million to BlockFi. These bold moves would be the first things that would start to get people's attention. Investors in FTX and its related token, FTT, noticed these huge trades, and some of the investors began to ask questions. November 2022 was when it really all started to come apart. A CoinDesk expose revealed the fragility of Alameda's position, with a portfolio bloated with the token FTT, which was backed by FTX. Confidence crumbled, and a tidal wave of withdrawals ensued, a run on the cryptocurrency exchange. A mere 6 days later was the day of reckoning. Binance, seeing this turmoil, made a move to acquire FTX, only to retract the offer a day later, citing issues discovered during the brief due diligence period. Binance's withdrawal from FTX was a huge signal to the related cryptocurrency market, and the run on FTX became completely unmanageable. A mere 9 days after the expose from CoinDesk, FTX formally filed for bankruptcy protection, and SBF resigned as a CEO amidst the chaos. The industry was in shock, and the contagion spread, affecting other cryptocurrency businesses, prompting layoffs, lawsuits, and significant financial losses. The bankruptcy filing, while necessary for FTX, was ultimately the thing that would bring Sam Bankman-Fried down. By filing for bankruptcy, Sam Bankman-Fried was forced to turn over the books of FTX to the bankruptcy trustee. Once the books became exposed, the fraud and Ponzi scheme that was FTX fully came to light. With all the documentation in hand, the U.S. attorney would soon enter the fray. Only about a month later, in December 2022, a very quick time for this kind of white-collar proceeding, Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested in the Bahamas at the request of the United States and then extradited. Sam Bankman-Fried was charged with a litany of white-collar crimes, including wire fraud and conspiracy to commit security fraud. Sam Bankman-Fried's trial also was very quick to come to a New York courtroom in very short order. The trial began October 2023, a staggeringly quick time for a financial collapse of this kind of magnitude. The SBF trial became a spectacle of legal strategy and emotional testimony. The defense, for its part, attempted to paint Sam Bankman-Fried as a visionary who had simply made poor business judgments because he simply didn't know better. In contrast, the prosecution painted him as the architect of a fraudulent empire, drawing parallels to the most notorious financial crimes in recent history. Of course, it didn't help that many of Sam Bankman-Fried's closest confidants, including his ex-girlfriend and former partner, would testify against him, showing emails and text message exchanged, as well as revealing conversations that showed Sam Bankman-Fried knew far more than he had been publicly letting on. Perhaps most ironically, it would be his defenses on Twitter, his attempts to defer blame and avoid responsibility, and ultimately his testimony trying to explain it all away, which would come across as uncertain and evasive, that would finally lay the last nail in Sam Bankman-Fried's coffin. The jury, after a month-long trial, deliberated just 4 short hours, finding Sam Bankman-Fried guilty on all 7 counts of the financial frauds for which he had been charged. Sentencing for Sam Bankman-Fried is currently scheduled to take place in March of 2024, and although he faces a maximum of 110 years, he probably won't face that. However, 10 to 30 years in federal prison is a very realistic target, and of course, because of the sheer scope of the thing, it is quite possible the judge may ensue a sentence even higher than that, because the sentencing guidelines literally do not go high enough for the total amount of financial fraud that Sam Bankman-Fried committed. So it is anyone's guess just how many decades he will have to spend in federal prison. The fallout for Sam Bankman-Fried's financial misdeeds is truly massive. The collapse of FTX has resulted in a loss of about $15 billion, less than half of which has so far been successfully recaptured by the new CEO of FTX. The collapse of FTX has also rippled throughout the industry, with other firms teetering on the brink and bringing the entire cryptocurrency market into disrepute. Sam Bankman-Fried, for his part, once a celebrity figure featured on many front-page news articles, became a symbol of the dangers and hubris and lack of oversight in the rapidly expanding frontiers of the cryptocurrency market, which so far has largely existed outside of regulators' eyes, although we can see that the regulators will be getting more involved in the future, I have no doubt. Looking back at the entire SBF journey, it is a tale of ambition, innovation, and ultimately a profound miscalculation of risk. From the heady days of launching FTX to the bleak prospects following his conviction, Sam Bankman-Fried's story is a stark reminder of how the pursuits of growth at all costs can lead to ruin. It is a modern-day Icarus's tale, flying too close to the sun with FTT tokens instead of the proverbial wax wings, but ultimately receiving the same fate, melting in the light of the heat and the hard ground of reality that has now followed for both SBF and the cryptocurrency market as a whole. I hope you've enjoyed this recap. I've been Uncivil Law. Until later, my friends, I hope all is well. Cheers, my friends, and goodbye.